This is Blender 3D View Basics. The aim of this exercise is to create the scene that you can see in this image file before you. We're supposed to be doing that in Blender, so I'm going to close this. You can see up here on the top left of my screen the keys that I'm pressing are recorded there. So if I lift on the mouse clicks, so if I left click with the mouse button or press a key, it shows up briefly there. So if you're not sure what I'm doing at any given point in the video, then you can pause the video and have a look up there and see what it was that I pressed. I'm expecting you to have read the slides on this topic before you try this exercise, but I'll talk you through how I succeed in doing it. The first thing I want to do is maximize my 3D view by pressing Shift Space, which is going to get rid of the timeline, the outliner, and the properties panel here. Try that one more time. So what had happened there was I had clicked on another window on my desktop, and because that had focus, when I pressed Shift Space, it wasn't having an effect in Blender. So you have to actually have Blender clicked on and your mouse in the view you want maximized in order for that to work. I'm also going to press T to get rid of the toolbar, and then what I want to do is have a look and see what the camera is seeing right now. So I'm going to press numpad 0, and that's what the camera sees right now. So I want to add another 5 objects to the scene and be able to see them all from the camera's perspective. I'm going to switch into quad view, which is Control-Alt-Q, and that gives me a nice view of the scene from various camera perspectives. Well, from the camera perspective, from top orthographic view, front orthographic view, and right orthographic. So that'll give me a good sense of where things really are in the scene. So I'm going to move the cube over there by right-clicking and dragging it, and then I'm going to add a new item to the scene. First, I'm going to move this 3D cursor. So this little crosshair here is the 3D cursor, and wherever it goes, by left-clicking it, is where the next object is going to be added. I'm going to add another mesh to the scene by pressing Shift A to bring up the Add menu, and I'm going to add a sphere over there. And then I'm going to add a cone over here by pressing Shift A and selecting the cone. And I want to move that up a little bit so that it's in the camera view. So I'm going to click and drag the blue arrow to move it up the Z-axis there. And then I want to add a cylinder over here. So select cylinder, and I'm going to do that same trick to move it up into the scene. And now I'm including my sphere. I don't want to be too much of a perfectionist because we're just adding some objects roughly to the scene, but I could move my sphere a little bit up. Now I'm going to add a torus here. A torus is a fancy name for a donut shape. And that's going to go there, and then Susie's head can go in the middle. Susie's head is a mesh as well. Monkey. So now I have my 6 objects in my scene. You can move them around if you're not happy by right click and dragging, and then left clicking to position them if you're happy with the new position. So that's my scene. One of the things I asked for as part of the task, task 1 says to actually make a screenshot of what you can see in front of you here and save that as an image. So to make a screenshot, you should press Alt Print Screen, and that's made a copy of that, but now I need somewhere to put it, so I'm going to open up Paint.net, and I'm going to paste what I had just saved as my print screen in there. It says, do you want to expand the canvas? That's because the screenshot I copied was larger than this canvas, which is 800 by 600, so I do want to expand it, otherwise I'll get bits of my image cut off. And then that's great, I can save that, and it says in the instructions, I'm just going to save this to the desktop, it says in the instructions that I should rename this as Meshes Quad, so I'm going to do that. I'll click Save, and it comes up with some options. I always just click OK unless I know any better, and that's me done the first task. For you guys, you should make sure you drop that in the Dropbox where the instructions say to. And the other thing the instructions ask for under task 2 is to provide a render of the scene. So if I come back out of quad view with Control Alt Q, again I've clicked on something else, so I have to click back on Blender for this to work. Control Alt Q, and that's dropped me into the top ortho mode because that's where my mouse was. I can click numpad 0 to get back to the camera view. And this, what I'm looking at right now, is not the render. This is the model view, my 3D view of my scene. To render it, I have to press F12, and that shows me what the scene looks like with the lighting and all the other effects. This is what a 2D snapshot of my 3D scene looks like. So in order to save that, you want to then press F3, and then it drops you in here. I'm going to drop mine on the desktop as well. The exercise asks you to call this something other than Untitled. Untitled is a rubbish name. I'm going to call it meshes render .png. You have to leave the .png in there, otherwise things will not go well for you. And then I'm going to click Save as Image. This drops me back into the render view. You can either press Escape to get out of there, or if for some reason that's not working, you can use the menu down here to switch back to the 3D view. I'm just going to click Escape. The last thing you want to do is make sure that you've saved your Blender project. You never know when you might need it again. So File, Save As, and then I'm going to drop this on the desktop as well. Again, it calls it Untitled. This time the file extension is .blend. Untitled still sucks, so I'm going to call this one Basics, and click Save. And now if I ever want to use it again, I can go back to it. Okay, that's it. That's basic rendering and model positioning in Blender.